Welcome back to Dinner for Two, where good conversation is always on the menu.
Yes.
I'm Stanley.
And I'm Kathy. Welcome back.
And we're excited about this episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
digital distractions.
Yeah, this is sweeping around everybody's front door right here.
Yeah. And do digital distractions cost you emotional connection?
Okay.
So that's our question for today. That's what we're going to dig into as we go into this episode. Digital distractions versus emotional connection. Are they at odds? Are we at odds when we're talking about those things?
I'd say amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So we know it's a trending topic.
Mm-hmm.
Although, and it has been for a while, which is interesting, which makes it kind of not necessarily a trend if it's been going on for a while.
It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of just an identified problem. But the topic around digital distractions and what it's costing people in terms of relationships, we already know it's breaking down authentic communication and face-to-face communication, person-to-person, intimate conversations that we'd rather text it all.
Right.
So we're talking about that in terms of scrolling, emotional absence, and how those things come up when we have these digital distractions.
Okay.
You can't build emotional intimacy on airplane mode.
Okay.
So,
and we're more connected now than we've ever been.
yeah.
But a lot of times we're more disconnected in relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything is so surface now because you ask simple questions because you're asking them through text. You ask the simple questions, you get yes, no answers, and problem solved, we move on. But where's the connection in that? So we need to dig into this because digital distractions is being called a silent relationship killer, and the thing that is costing people in terms of communication and their well-being and the wellness of their relationships.
Okay.
So let's just kind of dig into that.
And I can see how this could quietly be a killer. Mm-hmm. You know, it's sucking the life out of your relationship while you're not even paying attention.
Right. You don't even know it.
Okay.
You don't even know it. Because I think about sitting at a table. I know, well, growing up, we didn't have phones growing up.
Right.
But there was, when we were sitting at the table for dinner, you couldn't do anything but dinner and talk to the people at the table. So, I mean, we didn't have tablets and phones and all of that other stuff, but there were other things that we could have been doing at the table because during that era, we were creative then as well.
Okay.
It was just, we just didn't have the same tools, but we had tools. We would make something happen. And we weren't allowed to do that because the connection was more important.
Right.
The conversation was more important. And that's where you got the details of the day. That's where you knew what was going on and how people were doing and what needed to happen. Mm-hmm. And those conversations happened around the dinner table, and we don't have that. Yeah, we've lost that. So when we started to talk about this being a silent relationship killer, we don't realize the distance that is put between us because we are using these devices in so many incredible ways. And I'm a device person, so trust me, I'm an AI geek. I'm an AI geek. I am a phone person. I do a lot on my phone, my tablet, my computer. It's everywhere I want to be. Those things are there. So I'm not downing it. I'm just talking about how can we manage it, because what we're finding now is that is causing greater disconnection and causing conflict that's causing greater disconnection than a lot of other things that would traditionally break down marriages.
And if we're being honest about it, the technology is not the enemy.
That's right.
Yeah, the technology is just a tool.
It is.
And so now we're trying to get into what is the problem here and why is it that it's become a silent relationship killer?
Yeah, we talk about just kind of micro rejection and how those micro rejections show up in your relationship. If you're on the phone and you're scrolling or you're doing whatever you need to do on the phone and you're not even looking up, like somebody's talking to you, you're like,
Right.
Yeah. Wait, say that again. You're not there.
No.
You're not present.
No.
And although it's common, and I'm almost hesitating here because I know it's common.
Yes.
And I know it's easy, but the question is it worth it?
Right.
Is it worth it?
Is it helping? That's one question we asked last week. It was like, if you're going to say something in a relationship, you got to ask yourself a question before it comes out. Is this going to be helpful or hurtful?
Right.
And so with that in mind, you can be in the same room, in the same bed, at the same dinner table and still be emotionally unavailable.
Right. That's true. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Distant in conversation.
Yes.
And then what do you think that creates?
Well, we talked about that resentment that you talked about earlier. If I'm not important enough for you to even put your phone down to have a conversation with me, you haven't seen me all day or all night, all week, all month, what it may be. We work on 2 different jobs and now we're home at 5, but you can't sit at the table without having your computer or your phone. The message is sent and received at that point.
Ooh, that's tough because I do that, or I have done that. I have done that for a while. I've been more intentional.
Not recently.
Yeah, I've been more intentional about not doing that since I've become more self-aware in that space. But it did. I mean, that was me because I was like, I always got something to work on. I always have. I'm creating content. I'm coming up with different ideas where I'm pushing things out to the team. It's a lot of stuff that's happening all the time, and I have to, I had to be intentional about that and backing away from that space. But it's tough. It's tough because everything is right there and we become so conditioned by the availability of information and the availability of the world that we missed.
I like that. So proximity we confuse with relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. Or being present we confuse with relationship.
Right. Yeah. And we've talked about that before because there was a time when we were going through some things around me being so involved in everything and being gone all the time and all this other stuff. So I got rid of some of the things. I got some things off of my plate and then I was home. And it's like, okay, well, I'm home. But we're still in different places in the house. You're upstairs, I'm downstairs, or you're downstairs, I'm upstairs, or vice versa. We're still not. So what, my question to you in that time, and thank God we've worked through that, but in that time was, what difference does it make? And it was just, well, you're home. But
well, that was a lack of planning because you knew what you were missing. And the missing was your presence, but you didn't have a plan for when what you were missing showed up.
Exactly.
So, but that happens in relationships. And so you need to just make sure that if you have a request, which is what we talked about the last time, you need to have a plan if the request is granted.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, don't ask for stuff that you're not ready to receive.
And then you said, no, okay, now what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Right.
You wanted me to do this, so you tell me what we're going to do.
Right. This is all the stuff. Now you have the time for all the stuff that you said was missing.
Yes.
And now it's here. So now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Love that golf shirt. Nice.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
just seeing that one. That's nice.
Relationships don't grow where attention doesn't flow.
I love that. Wow. Relationships don't grow where attention doesn't flow. That's true. That goes back to attention competition. You're competing for the attention of the person that you're in relationship with.
Watch out now.
Yeah.
With the phone and the tablet and the computer and TV. I got to binge watch this series.
I did have to binge watch one series.
Okay,
I can't say what it is on here because it is trash TV, but it was definitely worth it.
So relationships don't grow where attention doesn't flow. And so once again, it goes back to being intentional. Yeah. So if you don't want this digital distraction to be a relationship killer, I hope you're taking notes.
Yeah. So what do we do though? Because we've become so accustomed to having it. We've been so accustomed to being connected, being, right there in the moment. Okay. And what do we do? How do we roll that back? Because it's almost now like we are afraid we're going to miss something or not be able to respond to people in the amount of time that they've become accustomed to you responding.
Yeah.
So,
notifications on your phone, and you're like, ding.
You're doing it all the time. It's like,
what am I missing?
So one of the things that I had to do, and my mentor shared this with me a little while ago, was I had to schedule my time to check my phone during the day. Okay. And turn those notifications off or put it somewhere where I can't hear it because there's no way, and I'm just being honest about me. If it dings, I'm looking I'm trying to figure it out. So I had to move my phone or I had to turn it off or I had to, and I knew that I gave myself a time, like I'll check it every hour, but I can't check it every time it dings. It dings all day. Right. And then what are you not getting done while this ding is happening? Right. So I had to realize that I was not getting things done. I was so distracted by things that were important, but they were not priority. And by saying that, it was important enough. Nobody was dying. It wasn't like I needed to jump up and go do something, but somebody sent me a message that I can answer in an hour when I check it. Yeah. So I put myself on an hour schedule at first that just says, okay, it's over there. I'll check it in an hour. And that has helped because I've been able to be a lot more productive in that space.
Right.
And it's almost like we talked about with those little goals. My goal is to get through that hour
Absolutely.
and then go check it.
Yeah,
and then go check it and see if there's anything that I need to respond to. But create the expectation that you are not always available. That goes back to the soft life piece. You don't have to always be available to everybody every second. And people have become accustomed to thinking that. And because of that, we feel now obligated to respond to that. But no, you go back to teaching people how to treat you and you say, you know, I'm not checking my phone. I check my phone every hour.
Or if somebody asks a question, because inevitably it's going to come up. I tried to reach you. Okay, what time was it?
Yep.
It was this time. Okay, well, I didn't check my phone except between 2 and 4.
Right.
So, yeah.
And even when I was a principal, that was my voicemail that said, like, during the day, I'm with children. I'm in classrooms with children and with teachers, supporting teachers. I am not at my phone, at my desk. If you need me, if it's an emergency, press this and Miss Bailey will take care of you. She will take care of you. And if it's something where she needs to grab me, she will, but do that or leave me a message and I'll return your call at the end of the school day.
Okay.
And that's how I managed it. So again, it's just ways you have to, again, set those priorities and align your actions with what you say you have prioritized.
Okay.
All right. So signs that technology is replacing connections.
One-word responses. We get that from teenagers all the time.
Yeah.
How was school? Good. How you doing? Good. How was the day? Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not just from teenagers. Teenagers do it the most, but it's gotten to a place now we're so distracted that's how we communicate with each
Adults
other.
communicating like that? Wow.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing. What do you want to do? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. What you want to do? Just like nothing. You really don't take the time to stop. Parallel scrolling.
Okay.
So doing that, like looking at you and doing this
At the same time.
Okay. Go ahead. No, I hear you. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No eye contact.
No eye contact during conversations. And that's a huge one. And I know that was a big thing for you. You would come in and you go like, you don't even look up. And that was rude. I'm sorry about that. I know I'm on it now. I'm on it. But there's a lot wrong with us. I'm still working through it. But with that, I would, and it wasn't that I was trying to be dismissive of you, but my thought is, you see me doing something. Why are you interrupting?
Well, here's one thing you said before too, is you said, we're giving our leftovers to the people who deserve our best.
Yes.
And so, and you've been intentional about making sure that that's not how you show up now.
Right.
And so, but everybody needs to hear that. You shouldn't be giving your leftovers to people who deserve your best.
And giving your best to people who would replace you
Watch out now.
In a minute.
Yes.
You won't be dead 10 minutes before they have already figured out who's going to take your spot. And that's with work, but even in relationships and other relationships that you're managing outside of the relationship, your intimate relationships with your family and close friends, even nurturing those things, when your time will be up, it'll be somebody else's turn, all this other stuff, and you have sacrificed everything and left these people with scraps who really deserve the full entree.
Yeah, so you'll give up all your emotional energy to your mail, to your social media, to your job. And then you come home completely emotionally depleted.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To the people who should get the best from you.
Right.
But you've got to, once again, it comes back to being self-aware. You got to know that's who you are. And then once you know that's who you are, then just make the change.
Yeah. Be intentional about it.
Just make the change.
Be intentional about it as well. I was just getting ready to yawn and it reminded me of comedian Jen Weeks. Because when she did her joke about yawning and the social media thing, when she said that, it was a whole thing, but it just caught me.
Just hit you.
Yeah, it just hit me. But
bedtime phone habits.
Yep.
Shared silence without presence.
Wow.
Yeah. I bought us those Faraday bags.
Yes.
To put our phones in,
yes.
So you can't even get into communication when you go to bed at night. So you can actually get some rest.
Yeah.
Because when you're tuned in to that phone beeping, it'll wake you up out of your sleep.
Out of your sleep.
Yes. So,
and then figure out what is your phone cutoff time? Like, what is the cutoff time? And I suggest if you're doing date nights, if you're doing your check-ins, all those times, those are no phone zones. Those are no phone zones when you're having those conversations because it's supposed to be intentional and it's supposed to be about connection.
Right.
You can't connect with the this contraption between you. You just can't. So be mindful of that. So let's look at a framework. You know, we always leave a framework. Or do you have something else that you want to add to that part?
Nope, that's it for that. We can move to the framework. And the word for the framework is focus, Focus.
Right.
And the F is for face your partner when you're speaking. Yes.
Face your partner when you're speaking. And what that has been for me is if you walk into my office or something, I have to stop I literally, and I've conditioned myself now to move my hands, because if they stay up here, I'm still going to be rolling or something. Move my hands and just look at you.
Yeah, eye contact.
Yeah.
It's important. Like it says, it builds safety.
Yep. So eye contact builds safety. It lets you know that you're being at least heard. And it creates an opportunity for the person to ask questions. It's hard to ask questions to the top of your head when it looks like you're doing something else.
Correct.
So the F is in focus is face your partner when speaking. The O.
Offer device-free time daily.
Yes.
And it might have to start out small.
Yep,
Like
15 minutes.
Here, even 15 minutes works. Yeah.
Yep.
And some people, they're never without their phone.
Right.
But start out small.
Start out small. 15 minutes. Just say, we're going to give the first 15 minutes after you have come home and, taken a shower, change your clothes, whatever it is that you do when you first get home. Let's just take the 15 minutes. No devices, nothing. Let's just talk for a second. And I know that's scary for a lot of people because you're like, what am I talking to this person about? But that shows the disconnection. That shows the disconnection.
Issue right there.
Right. So go back to some of the questions that we've asked you to ask. Check some of the other episodes and go back to those questions. Check in on your vision. Check in on your priorities.
Check in how you can support them. How can I support you?
How can I support you?
What's heavy for you? What are you carrying that I can help you with?
So ask those questions.
Yeah.
Ask those questions and go beyond how was your day?
Yes.
Go beyond how was your day, because you can do that as an opener, but then what happens when you get the information?
Right.
What do you do after that? Can you turn that into a conversation? If you can't, ask a different question, because you want to be able to do that. The next one is the C, create tech boundaries. No phones during meals, no phones during,
you pick the time. Doesn't have to be necessarily meals. When you pick the time.
Yep.
No phone from 6 to 8.
Right.
Both you get home at 6 or whatever it may be. But figure out something, then create a boundary for that.
Right.
And once again, shared values, right? Make sure that that's a value for the other person also. The U in focus.
Let me say, I just want to say really quick too, that you have to be intentional about that, because it's going to always be a reason for you to pick up your phone and do something.
Correct.
So ask yourself, how can you be intentional in that space? And that is really you making the decision. If you say it's going to be 15 minutes, again, you don't have to say we're doing no tech for 5 days. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But why don't you say, for 15 minutes at the end of every day, or 15 minutes at the start of the day, we're going to dedicate this time with no phones. We're just going to talk. Or even if it's no phones and you're not talking to anybody, give yourself that break.
Correct.
When you go back to talking about a soft life, don't pick up any problems. Just take a few minutes for yourself to meditate, to get your mind right, to do whatever it is that you need to do before you start dealing with the distractions of the day in the technology. So be intentional about that. Create those tech boundaries.
Then the U in focus, understand attention equals affection.
Attention communicates value. So if you say, if I have your attention, that means that you have stopped the rest of the world to pay attention to me.
Right.
And that means that you value what I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking.
Right.
And that helps to break down barriers that may have been there a long time. It helps to break down those walls even when you actually feel like you're being valued, you're being heard, you're being seen, you're being valued, and understand that, like you said, attention equals affection. And the S?
Schedule connection intentionally. And we spoke about that on a number of occasions, about scheduling the date nights, scheduling the check-ins at the end of the day. And so that needs to be a regular part of or a regular tool in your toolbox.
Right.
To make sure that your relationship is growing and thriving.
Yeah, you have to be intentional about that because it's so easy to get missed.
And you can't wait for it to happen. You got to make it happen.
You can't wait for it to happen. You have to schedule it. You have to make it happen. Make it like a doctor's appointment. Put it on your schedule. Make it like whatever else you're planning. Your golf date, your tea time. Put your tea time on your schedule. It's there. So put it on a schedule. Schedule it so that it makes so that it can remain a priority. So 5 steps couples can take this week. 20 minutes nightly device-free conversation.
That's the first one. Okay.
Yep, a 20-minute nightly device-free conversation. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, it's quite simply so you might say, well, what does that mean? Does that mean my computer and my cell phone, but I can still watch TV? No, don't sit in front of the TV. If once again you have a shared value, and he's already said, okay, when you're watching TV, you're not listening to me.
Right.
Don't be afraid of 20 minutes of quiet time.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Even if it's 20 minutes of quiet time with yourself.
Yes.
And sometimes we're so loud because we're afraid of the silence. Mm-hmm. We're afraid of what we hear when we shut up.
Okay.
So we just keep talking and keep moving and keep doing.
Got to have something on all the time.
Yeah. Because we're afraid of what happens when silence shows up.
Okay.
But that may be where your
breakthrough is.
Where your breakthrough is. Yeah. That may be the one thing that you need to overcome so that you can really be free. So don't be afraid of that 20 minutes of silence with yourself or with your spouse, with your partner.
Number 2, no phones during meals. That just makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It just makes sense.
It's hard though, because again, people are so attached to being able to do more than one thing at a time. So I can eat and watch this on my phone and scroll through this social media platform and watch videos. I can do all of that at the same time. And you can. We do it. We can. Mm-hmm. So the question is, are you willing to just not do it, even though you can do it? Because everything you can do doesn't mean you should be doing it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then share one highlight from your day nightly.
Okay.
That's fair.
And that is fair. Just one thing that went right. Yeah. Everything couldn't have gone wrong, or you wouldn't have made it through the day. Pick something, one thing that went right. If it was just, I was riding down the street and all the traffic, I didn't get stopped by any traffic light. Whatever it happens to be, but find something to be grateful for and share that one thing that went well for you during that day. Replace scrolling with a walk together or something else. If you're not a walker or whatever, something else that you do together for an amount of time, whatever it happens to be. So replace scrolling with something that you do together for however long you need it to be.
Right there. I like that one. Then sleep without phone in your hand. People do that?
Yes, people do that. People do that. Wow. I did that for a while. Well, I didn't sleep with it in my hand. That's not true. That's not true. But I did sleep with it very close to me. And again, for me, it's not always been about getting information. It's about being available. And I created that expectation that if something happens, call me.
You're going to answer the phone right away.
Yeah, and I was going to answer the phone as long as it was available.
Okay.
So try sleeping without your phone. Put your phone somewhere. Try it here. You want to really put it in a different room.
Yeah.
And then people are like, I need an alarm. Your alarm is loud. Put it in a room that's not where you can't hear every ding, but where you can hear your alarm. Like put it somewhere that's close. Or turn all the notifications off except your alarm. So let's give a couples a challenge this week. And again, when we talk about couple challenges, we want to make sure you don't have to be married. This could be a challenge that you do with anybody that you're in relationship with. So be mindful of that as well. So that this week, our challenge is to ask each other, when do you feel most ignored by me? And listen without defending it. Because remember, you're asking about their feelings, not yours. So listen, don't defend it. You ask the question because you want to hear what they feel, what they believe, what they think. Get that answer and then figure out what can you do with the information that you've just heard.
That's a good one right there. When you feel most ignored by me. All right. Because at the end of the day, relationships aren't built on likes, comments.
Right. For sure.
Whatever it may be,
for sure.
It's going to be built on your intentionality, your presence, etc.
Yeah.
So that's a good one right there.
And you're getting those things from people who will never touch your life in any other way. So be mindful of the people that touch your life in meaningful ways every single day, or the ones that you want to touch your life in meaningful ways every single day.
Well done.
All right.
Closing reflection. Connection doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades quietly between notifications. Yes.
So just remember, when you talk about connections, if the only time you connect is between notifications, you're not really connecting.
Correct.
You are fitting stuff in the gaps in your life. They're not what is your life. So you have to be mindful of that when you are doing this. So with that being said.
They're going to have to take a break after that one. That one right there is a lot. There's a lot of stuff in that one.
It is.
And
it's a lot.
It's nobody that won't touch.
Right. Well, and the thing is, we all suffer from it. We all do it. So the question is now, what can we do to not do it? And that's some of the things that we've talked about. And then ask those questions and be honest about, Don't defend. Don't get defensive. Well, I just keep my phone because the kid's reaching out to me all the time. You're disconnected. Own that. Own that and go like, dang, I really could do something better with that.
Right.
And then do it.
Okay.
Then just do it. That's it. There's nothing in the way. This is one decision away.
Well, and just like always, we thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that everything that we've given you has been impactful. If it has been, we hope that you'll share it with somebody.
Yes, please.
And we look forward to talking to you next time.
Yep. Again, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. And if you have questions or you want to connect or have a topic that you'd like for us to talk about, we're not afraid. Throw it out there and we'll jump on it. We'll talk about it. So throw it in there. Let's follow up and we will see you on the next episode. Take care.